Hi, series recapped here. Today, I am going to explain the sixth part of a post-apocalyptic science fiction series called The 100. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care. The people of the Ark have only 51 hours' worth of oxygen left. Chancellor Jaha tells everyone to stop rationing and spend the last hours of their lives with their families. There is no way to save the Ark now that the Exodus ship is gone, but Kane doesn't want to give up yet. He brings the head engineer to the Earth monitoring and makes him go through every possibility again just to be sure. Abby, being a good doctor, still tries to save the life of a little girl who was injured in the explosion. Her assistant wants her to give up, but saving the girl is like saving her daughter for Abby. They try their best, but the Ark runs out of an important medicine and the girl dies in the end. Abby is devastated and has to be consoled by her assistant. Meanwhile, in the camp, the 100 are preparing to fight the Grounders when they attack. Raven has made landmines out of gunpowder that was supposed to be used to make more bullets, which Bellamy is not happy about. After getting them done, Raven wants to go on a rescue mission to look for Finn and Clark, but Bellamy is against the idea. He thinks they are already dead, so they shouldn't put their lives in danger. Meanwhile, in the Grounders area, Clark has been caught and held captive for the second time. Finn is nowhere to be seen, so she assumes he is dead. Anya is visited by a messenger named Tristan. He directly works for the absolute leader of the Grounders, who lives in a faraway jungle. Suddenly, they notice a signal light on the other hill, which indicates the arrival of the Reapers. They are wild savages who hunt and starve people for fun. Even the Grounders are scared of the Reapers and avoid meeting them at all costs. Anya and her people quickly leave the premises to be safe, but before walking away, she orders a man to kill Clark. He comes near her but puts her on his horse instead. Jasper is mad at Bellamy for not rescuing Clark and Finn when he wouldn't do the same if it was for Octavia. They get into an argument, after which Jasper goes to the bunker and Bellamy walks outside. Taking this opportunity, Murphy kills a sick guy by suffocating him. Jasper catches him in the act and is held hostage. Murphy closes the bunker and threatens Bellamy through the radio. His true intentions are out, but the others can do nothing as long as he has a hold of Jasper. The Grounder takes Clark to Finn and reveals that he is Lincoln. He doesn't believe what his people are doing is right and stands by the 100. But Anya and the group have already found out about his intentions and are coming behind them. In the camp, Bellamy exchanges his life for Jasper's and deliberately becomes Murphy's hostage. Eager to take revenge, Murphy hangs him by a rope but makes the mistake of not killing him instantly. Outside, Jasper and Raven find a loose panel on the back of the bunker and enter inside. They plan to look for the wires connecting to the door so they can open it for the others to attack. But on the way, Raven discovers tanks of hydrazine that could be used to make tens of explosives with the amount of gunpowder they have. Meanwhile, on the Ark, the Chancellor is spending his last hours drinking and watching videos of his son and Clark. In the video, the kids talk about thrusters that keep Ark in its orbit. The Chancellor realizes that if the thrusters are removed, they will be launched into the Earth's atmosphere. Most of it will be destroyed, but 3% of the stations have a chance to survive. This would mean that some of them can still survive if they launch the entire Ark to the Earth. After running away from the Grounders, Finn, Clark, and Lincoln end up in a cave filled with wild Reapers. If the savages get a hold of them, the chances of their survival are nil. Still, Lincoln knows how important it is for Clark to get back to the camp. He reveals that Anya and the others are soon going to launch an attack on the camp. When they arrive, there is no way that the 100 can fight them and win. Hence, the better option would be to run away and take shelter in an area near the Eastern Sea. Lincoln's friend lives there and will help them. With that being said, he distracts the Reapers and the other two make their way to the camp. In the meantime, Murphy finds out that Raven and Jasper are under the floor and starts firing at them randomly. Right then, Raven finds the circuit and opens the door. The others barge in but see that Murphy has already left. It turns out he used all the gunpowder to make a hole in the bunker and ran away. With no gunpowder left, they cannot make any more bullets or explosives. Suddenly, the campers see a movement near the gate that turns out to be Finn and Clark. They quickly tell the group to pack their belongings and run to the east. Bellamy wants to fight instead of being a coward, but everyone else chooses the safer option. As everyone starts packing, Raven comes into the view, revealing that she was shot by Murphy. Clark helps her with the injury, but since the bullet is still inside her body, she has to be moved on a stretcher. Then, on the Ark, the Chancellor tells his plan to everyone. The idea is wild because the entire Ark would break apart during landing, but since there is a possibility of one station surviving, they are ready to take the chance. It is now the following day in the camp. The gunners have been on watch the entire night while the others pack up their belongings. When everything is done, they make their way outside the camp and towards the eastern sea. After walking for a few minutes, Octavia sees a motion in front and stops them. Everything goes quiet for some time before a grounder's weapon lands right on a guy's forehead and kills him. Panic ensues as the 100 retreat back to the camp and take their positions. They had hoped to run away before the grounders attacked, but now that the enemy is here, running away is not an option anymore. Everyone looks at Clark, asking her to make the final decision to either stay and fight or run away. She chooses the former and makes everyone take positions. Bellamy, Finn, Raven, and Clark discuss the game plan, which doesn't look very good. They have roughly 500 rounds of ammo, which won't be enough at all. If they had the gunpowder to make the explosives, the battle would be on their side, but that is not possible anymore. Clark thinks of a better idea than the explosives. If they cannot make one, they can at least blast all the hydrazine in the tanks. The group plans to bring the enemy into the camp and hide inside the bunker. When they are close enough, they will set off the explosion and kill everyone outside while the others stay safe. On the Ark, every citizen gathers in the Earth monitoring section and is told about the plan. The officials make sure they know all the risks involved in the launch. Even though most of them will probably die, the people are ready to take the chance. They divide into several sections and get ready to take off. However, the automated remote fails to work and the Ark has to be launched manually. This means someone has to stay back in the station and die alone. Kane takes responsibility and gets ready to walk outside. Abby asks him to stop, but he has made his decision. He will have 2 weeks' worth of oxygen left before he dies of suffocation, alone in the Ark. Right before he walks out, the station launches itself. It turns out that the Chancellor already came outside and manually initiated the launch. The Ark sets off to its home, leaving the Chancellor alone. Meanwhile, under Raven's assistance, Clark is building the explosive that is their primary weapon. She struggles with the wires but does the best she can. Suddenly, Raven stops feeling her legs. On checking, Clark sees a big blood clot on her back, which would mean the bullet is in her spine and she is bleeding internally. The only thing that will save her is a medicine that Lincoln owns. Finn leaves to quickly get to Lincoln's hideout, which is not far away from the camp. When it gets dark, the war drums are heard, indicating the grounders' arrival. The gunners take positions and get ready for the battle. They see the enemy running from tree to tree and fire, but strangely enough, the grounders do not attack. When they get closer, the landmines work, which favors the 100. They soon realize the grounders aren't attacking because they want the rivals to waste their ammo. Everyone holds their fire and waits for an attack to retaliate. Then we see Clark struggling to fix the wires as per Raven's orders. They call Jasper to do the job since he is a better engineer than Clark. Soon, the grounders break in and attack. Bellamy is pushed down to the ground, but Octavia saves him after killing the attacker. Right then, she is hit by an arrow that restricts movement. Bellamy brings her behind a rock to hide. In Lincoln's cave, Finn meets him. He has just gotten away from the Reapers and wants to continue helping. He and Finn agitate the Reapers again and bring them towards the camp so the grounders and the Reapers fight each other off. The explosive is finally created and Clark asks everyone to come inside the bunker. Right then, they see the Ark falling from the sky. Before the grounders comprehend what is going on, the Reapers attack, giving the 100 more time to take cover inside the bunker. Bellamy and Octavia are still hidden behind a stone. She cannot make it to the bunker in such a condition, but Bellamy doesn't want to leave her outside to die. Lincoln arrives and helps the two. He takes Octavia away, promising to take care of her while Bellamy makes his way back to the bunker. Soon, they make the last attack with grenades before everyone gets inside the bunker. Anya manages to follow behind before the door closes. Everyone outside covers the bunker, trying to forcefully open it. Jasper finally presses a button, but it doesn't work. People start hitting Anya to the ground, mad at her for killing so many of their loved ones. However, Clark stops them, claiming that they are better than the grounders. In the meantime, Jasper hurriedly makes a last-second change in the remote that triggers the explosion outside. All the grounders are burned to death in the ensuing blast. The group comes outside to see the place has burned down into ashes. On the Ark, the Chancellor tries building connections with the stations that just landed. A few minutes later, he gets a reply from Abby, whose station has landed safely along with its people. She comes out of the ship and witnesses the beauty of nature for the first time in her life. She describes the view to the Chancellor in great detail, and he couldn't be happier. Kane follows Abby behind and is just as mesmerized by the view. He notices smoke rising nearby and decides to check it, hoping it is the second station that survived. In the last scene, we see the Chancellor take a seat by a window and make a toast to the ground. The season ends as he takes a sip of the alcohol that was supposed to be opened on Earth. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thanks for watching.